Hello and welcome to day 18 of 30 Days of Doodles. Today we are doing some date night doodles, so I hope that you're ready. We're going to start out with a floral vase. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a circle, and then we're going to mark the center of that circle like we've done in the past with others. And we're just going to take and create these curved lines coming off the edges of that circle to come up to the top, and then we're going to close it off with a straight line and then add a little rectangle at the bottom for the base. So we'll just go over our vase with our pen before we get into drawing our florals, and then we will go back in with our pencil to start on those. Alright, so we are going to zoom in on this part so that you can actually see the florals. The first one we're doing is this rose, so I'm starting out with this kind of wobbly spiral shape, and then I stop and make a petal coming off the spiral and then continue around with these little wobbly petals all the way around until I make a circle that I'm happy with, and then I fill in the gaps. The second one is like a tulip, so we start with a U shape and then drag one side all the way to the bottom and then the other one to meet that line we just made, and then fill in the top with little U shapes. And then between these we want to fill that space in, so we'll put another one of these roses. So now we're going to pick up our black pen and we are going to go over these flowers, and what I want you to do is to go in the same order that you drew them with your pencil, and that way you're not overlapping any. If you did draw the center one overlapping the first, those deep rich black lines will put a stop to that when you go to outline that one, so that you don't end up with those overlapping lines. So we'll move on to the tulip and just kind of outline this one and then do the center, and then it's optional to add some little leaves along the stems of these, and then you're done with the floral vase. So moving on to the wine bottle, we are going to draw a rectangle for the bottom part of the bottle, and then we're going to mark the center and then draw a small skinny rectangle for the top part of the bottle. And just like we've done in the past, we are going to make these two lines come together with a nice soft slope. So just nice and carefully drag the top corners of your rectangle up to meet the neck of the bottle, and then we will round it out to make it look more like a cylinder shape, and then we're going to go over it. And on this one I forgot to draw the lip of the bottle in pencil first, so I am going to do that in pen. You will see that, but it is just a little small oval at the top of the neck of the bottle. Next, we'll erase all of our pencil lines so that we have a clean template to work with before we add the label and the cork. So I'm going to use my pencil again just to draw the cork in, so it is just kind of this soft rectangle shape, and then I do bring a little piece of it down below that oval. And then for the label, I'm just creating two slightly arched horizontal lines. So we'll just go over that in our pen, and then we will be done with our wine bottle. Our last doodle is going to take up a little bit more space, so if you're doing this in the workbook, I encourage you to get out a separate piece of paper for this one. It is going to be a little larger. So we're going to start off with this long, narrow oval, and this is going to be the top of our table, and then on each side of that we are going to draw these very narrow rectangles down the side for the legs. So I did move those in slightly so that the edge of the table does stick out a bit. And this is just kind of actually our guideline. We're not going to even go over all these lines because we're going to create a tablecloth here. So coming off the edges of the oval, I just drew two lines coming down, and then a nice soft wavy line along the bottom to create the tablecloth. And then I'm tracing over the tablecloth only, and then what is left showing of the table legs. Next, we'll pick up our pencil again to draw the chairs. So once you have one, you can do both of them. I kind of move back and forth. So we're gonna start with this narrow rectangle on each side at the same height, and then we're gonna draw our legs. So 2 legs coming down, make sure they are the same length as the table legs so that all of those lines are even. And then I'm drawing a crossbar between them. And then for the back of the chair, I'm just drawing this very, very lightly curved rectangle, and then I put a little lip on the back of the chair. So then your other chair will be identical to the one you just drew, and then we'll take our pen and go over all of these lines to finish off the basic part of our table and chairs. Next, I'm going to pick up my finer point pen and we're going to add some details. So the first thing I want to do is add some wavy lines here going up the side of the tablecloth to make it look like it's kind of folded and that it didn't just flop over the table and that it's just this flat line. We do want to have some dimension to it, and these lines kind of give it that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my small pointed pens, the one that's a little larger, and we're going to just draw a candle here. I didn't do this in pencil, so we'll start with a little oval and then a little rectangle and another oval and then a longer rectangle, a line, and then a little flame, and that is our table for 2. So that finishes day 18. Be sure to join me for tomorrow for day 19, and thank you guys so much for watching.